because he put this here, I believe it is relevant today. There are things that God has asked you to do. There are visions and dreams that he has placed inside of you. And you are trying to figure out, number one, is it worth it? How does it manifest? How am I going to do this? When's it going to happen? Who's it going to affect? And most of all, how is it going to affect me? And you're trying to figure all those things out, and that's your purpose. You have a purpose, a calling, a dream, a vision, a gifting, and a ministry. And many of you know what that is, but you're afraid to jump. You're afraid to jump. Some of you aren't going to get to jump. You're going to get pushed.
Yes.
I just need to get the.
I like to doing
We're gonna do the
quiet Bible
giveaways
studies.
soon
My
as she's
dad
done.
was a deacon, and now he's a preacher. And I like doing quiet Bible studies. And I would do some teen stuff, that kind of thing. And my first speaking engagement was in a basement of a church, and it was 10 people, and it was super and fantastic, and all things were great. But I liked that small intimate stuff. Well, then I got married to a preacher who was an evangelist, who wanted to be a church planter. And I was like, and there were days when I was like, I didn't sign up for this. There were days when I was like, we're moving where? What? And the Lord usually would tell me ahead of time when we were getting ready to move, and I would start packing things up, and I'm like, I don't know how long is it going to take for him to notice that I'm putting stuff in boxes, and for him to go ahead and tell me what the Lord's already told him. Because I may not know where we're going, but I would know that we were getting ready to move, or something was getting ready to happen. And I know I have jumped, but I've also been pushed or pulled, either way. And there are those of you in this room who aren't going to get the opportunity to jump. You're going to get pushed or pulled, and you better be ready for it, because God has something for you. He doesn't want you to lose your crown. He doesn't want you to perish.
Right. Come on now.
But you're going to do what he wants you to do.
Amen.
He's not willing for you. He keeps knocking at your door. He keeps nagging at you. He keeps tapping you on the shoulder, talking to you about that one thing that will not leave you alone. Whether it be that you're going to start a new ministry, or you're thinking about reaching out to someone, or you're going to connect to this, or you're going to go ahead and take this particular class, or you're going to go back to school, or you're going to enroll in such and such as mastermind, whatever it is, you're going to do those things. It's getting ready to happen.
Amen.
So get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. You have a purpose, you have a calling. Some of you sit here today with a last-ditch effort. You said, I'm coming here today, and if I don't connect with somebody, and this ministry don't pick up off the ground, and something doesn't happen, I'm going to stop. I'm really done. And some of you are thinking, I've given myself a timeline. And if this doesn't happen by this point, this particular thing, I'm just going to cut this branch off and let it die. Some of you really do have to cut off a branch of your ministry.
Jesus.
You've got too many things going
Ooh,
on.
Lord.
Too many
Come
things
on.
out there. And God's trying to pull you back to your roots and trying to pull your focus in. She talked for a year about being laser focused. Because she had to get laser
Sure did.
focused. She did for a year. Every time we spoke. Christy, I've got to get laser focused. It's so important. We have got to be laser focused. And she was right. And she was talking to herself.
Yeah.
But she was talking to me.
Yeah.
I was streamlining stuff going. And I'd be driving down the road going, I got to get laser focused. And there are those of you in the room today that's got to get laser focused so that you don't miss an opportunity, so that somebody else doesn't go do what God's asked you to do. There is a time limit
Yeah, there is.
That's real.
That's right.
That's real.
Yes, true.
on what he wants you to do. That job won't sit there in the wings forever. That situation won't sit there in the wings forever. That family member, the opportunity to witness to this person won't sit there forever. The connection, the opportunity to make that connection will not sit forever.
That's right.
People change, stuff changes.
Yep.
There was somebody who spent the summer saying that they were attempting to get a hold of me in regards to something in particular, something in regards to ministry. They said, I've tried to get a hold of you all summer long. By the time they got a hold of me, or got up the nerve, or whatever the case was, like they said hi on Facebook, but they never told me what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like they were like, hey. And I'm like, hey, how are you? Yeah,
Uh,
I'm good. Just
not
pray
bold
for me.
enough
And I'm
to-
like, okay. And I mean, I can only pull it out of you. There's only certain people that God makes me pull it out of.
Yeah.
And then even if that doesn't work, I'm not gonna chase you so long. There's just a point where I can't do that. And that's every single person. It's not just me, it's every single person. So finally, when this person had the nerve to ask me and talk to me about what they wanted, he was in the hospital fighting for his life. And I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. And they're like, it's really important. I'm like, no. It's really important.
Boundaries.
To you, not to me anymore. So thank you very much.
Right.
I
Mhm.
appreciate you, and I'll see you later. Because we're going to therapy. Or we're working on, when he got to therapy, he couldn't walk. He could walk with a lot of assistance. Couldn't open and close his hand, couldn't feed himself. He couldn't write. He was trying, difficulty expressing himself. He was having difficulty coming up with words. Can I tell a story? Are you okay with that? So they came to me and they told me he's going to be brain dead, completely brain dead.
Jesus.
Are you sure you really want us to pursue his health? And I said, yes. And they said, he's 37 years old, and I'm sure you're somewhere around the same age. And do you want, I know you're a nurse, but do you really want to take care of this person like this for the rest of your life? And I was like, do you see the ring? Yes. I mean, I meant it. Till
Mhm.
death do you part.
Yeah.
And first of all, he's not going to die. And second of all, he won't have a brain injury. I'm believing that he's going to have full recovery. And they're like, do you understand how long he was without oxygen? And I was like, yes, you've told me over and over again. I'm aware. I'm aware. Please continue to do everything that you're doing, all of the life-saving measures. I am believing for full recovery. We know Jesus, and he has a purpose, and he has a prophecy over his life. And they said, he's not going to be able to tell you stuff. He's not going to be able to do stuff. So my dad had went home to our house. Aaron was still in the unit, and he brought me all the mail. He was like, you need to pay your bills. You've been in the hospital for a month. And you need to pay your bills. They will turn your lights off. You won't have any when you go home. And I was like, oh yeah, that's important. So I handed my dad my debit card.